If you are new to this channel, my name is Tina Leader, and here we talk about building a magnetic life, building charisma, building confidence, and building up your communication skills, your social skills, so you can operate in this life in the way exactly that you want to. So if that resonates with you, please hit that subscribe button and hit that like button if you like today's content. So here's a clip of former First Lady Michelle Obama and the one and only Oprah talking about your value and knowing your own value, especially as a woman.
I specifically did not read other First Ladies' books because I didn't want to be influenced by how they define the role. I knew that I would have to define this role very uniquely and specifically to me and who I was. So I came in thinking about who I wanted to be in this position and who I needed to be for my girls, first of all. So you remember, Malia and Sasha were little itty bitties when we came into office. I mean, it still moves me to tears to think about the first day I put them in the car with their Secret Service agents to go to their first day of school. And I saw them leaving and I thought, what on earth am I doing to these babies? So I knew right then and there my first job was to make sure they were going to be whole and normal and cared for in the midst of all this craziness. And then I started to understand that if I was going to protect them, I had to, number one, protect myself and protect my time. So I knew going into this role that I didn't want to waste any time, that any time I spent away from my kids, and I actually took this on even before I became First Lady. Even as a lawyer, as a vice president at a hospital, one of the things I realized is that if you do not take control over your time and your life, other people will gobble it up. If you don't prioritize yourself, you constantly start falling lower and lower on your list. Your kids fall lower and lower on your list.
So by the time you got here, you knew how to do that.
I knew how to do that.
I think that's one of the number one issues with women. I never, in all my years of interviewing, have ever heard a man say, I just don't have the time. I just don't. I don't find a way to balance.
You know why? Because they don't have to balance anything.
Yes.
Sorry. And I hope that is changing, but so many men don't have to do it all.
So how did you figure it out? I've read the story, I'm sure many of you have heard the story of early on, you were going to a job interview and you took Sasha with you to interview.
Oh, yeah.
We never heard, did you get that job?
I did.
Well, okay.
I did. I was the vice president of community outreach for the University of Chicago Hospital. And I got that job because I didn't compromise. Because before working at that job, I was working as an associate dean. I had Malia. Barack was in the U.S. Senate. So I was basically, mothering part-time on my own. I had a full-time job, so I tried part-time. I've talked about this before. I tried part-time because I thought I have to figure this out. I have to be able to pick the kids up. I've got to be able to do all this. So tried part-time. So only thing I found out from part-time was that you just get paid part-time. Because I was still doing a full-time job. I was just cramming it all into the few hours that I was there and driving myself crazy. So I had vowed that if I continued to work, that I would never settle for part-time. I knew what my time and energy was worth. So when I went into the president's office to interview for that job, I thought, I have a little baby. I don't have babysitting. So here we go. We're all going to go in to see the president because this is who I am.
Yeah.
And I said, and if I take this job, I need flexibility and I need full pay. So if you want me to leave my baby and my kids, then you're going to have to pay me because I'm going to do the job. That was never a question. I could deliver, but I knew then I wasn't going to sell myself short, and I had the leverage at the time to make that decision.
Well, that comes from a sense of, and you said you arrived here knowing who you were. I think that is the journey. That is the journey. And there is a question from Farm Fresh Gal.
Farm Fresh Gal.
She must have her own garden.
I hope.
Like we do. Yes. And Farm Fresh Gal says, as a woman leader in the corporate world, I feel like I have to be brave a lot. And what you just described was brave. Any advice or tips on bravery?
You know, that's a good question. Gosh, I don't know if I don't ever view it as bravery.
Yeah, you didn't think that was brave saying, look, I'm
Right.
going to be paid full time?
Right.
I think that's
I just
brave.
viewed it as I'm not going to be taken advantage of. You know, I am just not going to keep selling
You
myself
knew your value.
That's
You
absolutely
knew your value.
right.
I was just saying that to a friend recently.
And that goes back to knowing who you are. And I think as women and young girls, we have to invest that time in getting to understand who we are and liking who we are. Because I like me. I've liked me for a very long time. So for a long time, I've had a very good relationship with myself.
I know.
And we all like ourselves in here, but you gotta work to get to that place. And if you're going out into the world as a professional and you don't know who you are, you don't know what you want, you don't know how much you're worth, then you have to be brave. And then you have to, you have to count on the kindness and goodness of others to bestow that goodness on you when you should be working to get it on your own because you deserve it.
Because you know your own value.
Whatever you're doing right now, and if you're having turbulence in your life, and maybe there's toxicity, there's negativity, maybe it's the time when it rains it pours, and you're just right in that rain, right in that storm, and you're wondering how to get out. Every time personally I've been in that position, I overcame it with the help of people, with the help of the right people, with the help of certain friends. And there are certain people I knew not to go to, right? Because I knew they were inherently negative or inherently toxic. I would suggest, just lean in towards the people who catapults you, because dimming your light and trying to suppress the best part of yourself, it's gonna kill you when you're on your deathbed and you're about to close your eyes and you're thinking about all the regrets that you have in life. And my grandpa recently passed away a few weeks ago, and it's just something that I've been thinking a lot about. And should I be doing something else? Is there more that I can be doing? And by answering that question and what that is to me personally, I think something sometimes just clicks. If you're going through the same thing, I would lean into that intuition. I would lean into the questions, the right questions of saying, is this the best that I can do? Is this the best version of me? Am I in the right environment? Am I in the right place? Am I surrounded by the right people to be the person that I know that I am deep down inside, right? So I encourage everybody who just watched this clip inspired by Michelle Obama and Oprah, the most powerful women of the world, to just do, right? And ask the right questions and surround yourself with the right people. And if you don't have those right people, at the very least, you gotta cut off toxic people and watch my videos, right? If I'm the only one that's in your life that's bringing that positive lights, that's bringing that magnetic energy into your life, then just lean into that. And there's certainly other people on YouTube that has that same energy, has that same positive vibe. Lean into that, even if it's digital, right? It's gonna help you, and whatever it takes to help you, just lean into that. All right, I will see you on the next video coming up, and comment below, suggest anything that you want to learn more about. If you have any personal questions to me that you want me to answer, I can certainly do a video on it. So comment below, let me know what that is and any ideas that you might have, because I'm really happy to hear, and I really like reading the comments. So thank you again, and 1,000 subscribers soon.